Fired up, folks! We have the National Duels Invitational Final coming tonight. My Iowa Hawkeyes are in the final. Angela Ferrari stock way up.
Whoa.
Folks, we have a lot to talk about, dude, because the finals are happening in like less than 2 hours, dude. What's your instant reaction here?
I'm exhausted. That was one of the best duels. I'm talking about Iowa against Oklahoma State.
Yes.
Of course. One of the best duels. Is that the best duel this decade?
And we're going to get to see it again.
I know.
We're going to get to see it again this year.
It can't be as good as that one was. It just can't. That was every single match. Could have really went either way. Like, wow, is all I can say. And I got to give props where props are deserved. Tom Brands, Terry Brands.
How about Endine, baby? Endine paying off already. He already paid off. He already got his paycheck paid off, dude. Endine for the Hawkeyes, baby, coming through with Keeter. What's going on with Keeter? We don't know, dude. Keeter not even wrestling. That's going to be big. I picked Ohio State to win this, by the way. But for Iowa, dude, Endine shows up. Angela Ferrari, dude, in a big way, stock way up. Sinclair then goes on and beats McAnally. Hold the phone, folks. Hold the phone. Were my Angela predictions? I knew it all along, right?
Yeah. And, you know, the thing is, I mean, we learned so much. And there was so many times we were shocked at what we've seen over the past 2 days. But Endine is one that I had no chance of getting an AA. Especially after watching his very first match. I don't know, Zach. I don't know, man.
And Dean, and we're going to be talking to, I believe, right? Hawkeye Terry here from the Hawkeye Hot Minute.
Yes. You know, the thing is, you can literally see confidence growing in a person. You could literally see it. And you can see when someone just lost their confidence. It's like you can just tell.
Maybe someone
how
who's
they
lost
walk
their
back
confidence.
to the center of the mat. It's like the whole body language. They just, it's wild. It's really wild.
Like maybe someone who's lost their confidence. Antrell Taylor. Like Antrell Taylor, what is going on? Nebraska Cornhuskers. What's going on? We even saw AJ lose. AJ falls to Feldman there, dude. And, dude, Ohio State stock way up, folks. We mentioned it. We touched on the Ohio State lineup. I picked him to win this, dude. Tom Ryan, dude, and he's taking jabs at KO. Now, he ain't afraid. He ain't scared, dude. He's got young dogs in that lineup.
They came to perform. There's no doubt. Quite frankly, I would maybe say Iowa's kind of the underdog going into these finals at 7 p.m. tonight on ESPN2. But I can't ever say that. I got to say one thing right out of the gates. Our last live episode, I went as far as saying that even next year, David Taylor and them daggone Oklahoma State Cowboys, it'll be close to 50-50 as far as them beating Penn State. Whoa.
You're hitting the brakes.
Whoa.
You're hitting the brakes on that one.
Come on now. I mean, okay, David's got a lot of major studs. He's got some holes to fill. There's no doubt. And he is the magic man, but, you know, Facundo is still Facundo. That's not a hit on you, Alex Facundo. He's a great wrestler, but he looks identical to me as he did 2 years ago. I'm just saying, I don't see, you know.
Well, he's had limited time under David Taylor, and also
Limited
David Taylor
time.
has some other wrestlers we can talk it out. Robidoux, who are looking like they could be a real problem here.
Robidoux reminds me of David Taylor, and I mean he is absolute. It's a very small list, but every once in a while some wrestlers come through, and I'll tell you who reminds me of Dake. Robidoux reminds me of Taylor. And daggone Angelo reminds me of Dake. There's going to be a lot of people that keep it close with Dake. I mean, with Angelo.
Yeah.
But a lot of people did with Dake. But it's a whole different thing of getting over the top and actually beating that guy.
Well, can I tell you this? Let me give you my takeaway from Angelo. I watched all his matches more closely than anyone else's. And Angelo might have the best defense in the country, okay? The best. I think his offense is like a B. maybe even a B-, dude. I think there's a lot of room to improve with his offense, which is actually kind of scary to say when you think about it, because Angelo right now just beat Sinclair, who then goes on to, I don't know if you had a chance to watch the McAnally-Sinclair match, but Sinclair manhandled McAnally from the top position, dude, when it really mattered the most in the third period, folks. I don't know if you've seen it, because it was hard to watch both at the same time with the Flow Dualcast, but dude.
Well, that brings me to another thing, is I wanted to come out and I wanted to praise Flow. I wanted to praise Richardson. I wanted to praise David Taylor for having such an incredible event. It's like finally wrestling has their Daytona 500, because that was everything that you hoped it would be, and it was more. However, and Flow, for the most part, all the times we've criticized Flow, and at times I got to take time and when they did something right and say it. Now, with that said, it's not across the board. There's certainly some improvement to go. I never did see Macron's very first takedown, because they're busy showing us the wide angle. Ooh, look at this building. You see the building? Meanwhile, we got live wrestling going on there. Where is our executive producer or director, someone that's going to bring the hammer down, stop goofing off, get on the wrestling? And I got a little flared up there. I never did see Ayala's takedown in overtime against it doesn't matter. That made me mad, and quite frankly, they started that last round where they had the semifinals up top, and then they had had all four, right? And then halfway through, they took away the two bottom ones. That is why I've never got to see Sinclair against
You'll have to go
McAnally.
watch it back. All right. Well,
Yeah, I can go
harsh.
back
You're
and
a
watch
little
it back.
tough.
It's no big. Yeah, I'm being a little rough, because ultimately I didn't lose the stream, and I was worried about that. But just a great job, everybody.
Can you imagine being his son, folks?
Wow.
This is how I was raised.
I mean,
I gotta say, dude, awful tough guy over there, dude. Thank you, Flo.
I just want to see the wrestling. That's all.
The second best single day of college wrestling to watch all year. All year, dude.
Please,
all year.
just shut up and put the camera on the wrestling so us fans can actually see the wrestling. Like Ayala's takedown in overtime.
Okay, let's get into it. Dude. Stop being a Debbie Downer over there just because your little Nittany Lions decided not to participate. And now Tom Ryan's looking like a freaking bully over there for the Buckeyes. Dude, don't mess with us, dude. Ohio State in the future. But listen.
Dude.
Upsets across the board, dude. Across the board upsets. Figueroa. I got questions about Figueroa. Ferrara, by the way, out of Cornell. I believe we are going to be speaking to Cornell Kevin here briefly as well. But Ferrara looks good with a win over Figueroa, and Zack Ryder. Wow. Zack Ryder put up a good fight against Angelo, and maybe Zack Ryder stock slightly up. I mean, so many matches to talk about, dude. We're not going to get to it, but the finals are here shortly.
I mean, you had a lot of guys like Zack Ryder. I came out. I'm not sure what to think, because we did have a lot of that. And, of course, he wrestled Angelo tough. Then he goes out for the third place match and loses, which I would think that you normally see him beat like All Red or something. And it was, I mean, he's fine. I will say this, and I wrote this on the BG Facebook page. I'm done questioning Kale. Like, I might have said in a previous podcast, I called it a mistake that Kel brought in Rocco Welsh and let Ryder get away. Believe me, Kel knew what he was doing. Nothing against Ryder. He may turn out to be a national champ someday. By the way, I don't think we'll see any four-time champ between Angelo, McAnally, Ryder certainly around. How about this? Sinclair winning the national title this year. What do you think that's a...
I mean, after today, I think Sinclair, Ferrari. Okay, if I had to give the odds between McAnally, Sinclair, and Ferrari, I'm going to give Ferrari 40% And then I'm going to probably give 30% to each McAnally and Sinclair. I mean, Sinclair, dude.
Didn't even bring up Rocco Welsh.
I mean,
we don't know how he kind of fits in on that. But
he ain't going to be doing nothing to do with that, okay? It's down to those three. I can trust you. He ain't got that kind of man strength, dude, because, well, everyone can't. Chael Sonnen is asking about Angelo's strength. I think Angelo proved his strength up against Sinclair. Didn't he?
I got to give it to him. I got to give it to him. He's an absolute dog. He gets it done. Might be able to teach his older brother a thing or two.
Okay, let's get to that, dude. AJ Ferrari falls to, who was it, Feldman, right?
Yeah.
Ohio State Feldman, dude. And Ohio State
I think Doucette could beat him, too. I mean, he eked by Doucette by a point there.
Well, he was discouraged. He's not focused. He's not focused. Doucette match.
Yeah.
But the Feldman match was surprising, dude. By the way, Feldman busted up. His whole face busted up, dude.
Yeah.
I will say this about Angelo. I mean, you can say his stock, or AJ, you can say his stock is down after that Feldman match, but, dude, did he not go for it? Like, he was aggressive. I liked the way he wrestled more. Did you?
Yeah, I thought what Feldman did was just run around back after.
It is, but AJ was aggressive, like, to me, more aggressive than I'm used to seeing him. Am I wrong there?
And actually, Doucette almost ran around back, too. And, it's one of them things where, and I think Angelo did make one little mistake. He talked about how they scouted him and how they circled the mat a certain way against him.
Against Angelo or AJ?
Angelo. I'm talking about Angelo.
Yeah, I will say this as well. And Angelo, dude, as much as I love where he's at, dude, it does seem like he has a very scoutable style of wrestling.
Yeah.
Because the one knee thing, dude, I mean, there's holes in the one knee thing.
Yeah, he was talking about Sinclair, and of course that went into overtime. And I mean, that match is going to be him running the table with Sinclair, and they're going to be meeting a bunch after the next couple of years. I don't think he's going to run the table. He'll take some losses.
Sinclair's a dog, dude, and McAnally. I mean, we didn't get to see Angelo against McAnally, but I mean, I think we can predict that to be a 50-50 match, right? I mean, at this point.
Yeah, and that's the thing. McAnally, even against Fishback, is. My thoughts were, I did see that match where that one was close, and I thought, this doesn't look like the same dude. Like, I wonder if he's sick or something. And then to hear, I didn't get to see it yet, to hear that he got basically dominated by Sinclair.
You haven't seen it, but he did. I mean, he held Sinclair down, or he held McAnally down the third period when McAnally needed it most to get out and get a chance to win that match with a takedown. And to me, that was like man strength on man strength. And I've been hearing about this McAnally man strength, dude, for how long? Well, I did not see the McAnally man strength up against Sinclair, but Angelo figured it out.
Yeah. And I know Shane Sparks mentioned this, and the couple of names that really shined. And, of course, Robidoux from Oklahoma State, going to be a real problem. And dude, everyone's same with Davino.
Ben Davino,
which
Ohio
that's
State.
Going to be fun tonight. Davino against Ayala. That's going to be very, very interesting to see that. And you got to give it to like Lockett and Vega. I mean, Lockett taking out Caliendo. I got to give it to him. Do I think he can keep it close against Messenbrink? No, but I got to give it to him.
That was impressive. I did not expect that. Lockett over Caliendo, dude. That is like a shooting star for Oklahoma State, right? And concerning for Iowa fans.
And others that kind of sit in my they really shine list. I'm putting both Angelo and Sinclair in that. But, of course, we didn't get to see this guy much, but obviously Caleb Larkin is going to be a problem for people that this year.
Oh, yeah.
He may be Van Ness's problem But we'll see. Of course, Mendez got by Brock Hardy again.
That was a fun match, and Hardy had a chance. And all of a sudden, dude, Mendez not maybe so much of a lock because Brock Hardy is the problem.
Yeah, and I liked Jimmy Mullen, and, of course, I got to mention Bird. How about this guy, Zach? Your dude. I was impressed both days, and that was Keenan Webster.
Cannon Webster.
Yeah.
How could you possibly get his first name wrong, Keenan? It's Cannon, dude.
Well, won't be the last time I
the
get a name
coolest
wrong.
first name in the sport.
I was impressed, and that particular
you.
weight, which Robidow's there, and everybody's got him already crowned. But if you were saying, wow, you talk about some anticipated matchups, okay? Robidow against Shapiro. Throw in Duke, any three of them. But we're talking about with Waters Waters is the real deal too. And
well, let me ask you this question: who do you take
Cannon
right
Webster.
now, Rabideau, Duke, or Shapiro?
that I'm telling you
Who
right
do
now.
you take out of those three? In fact, I would even ask you, who do you take if you're starting a program? Like because right now Rabideau looks like
That's a good question. Of course, it would be between Robidow and Duke, because I'd be worried about the concussion thing, which, by the way, we've seen several concussions.
By the
during
way,
this
day
event.
one, I'm glad you mentioned it. Day one, didn't Cornell's trainer get his own spotlight again? Oh my goodness! The longest match in history. I can't even remember what it was, dude. The longest match I've ever watched in my life, dude, and it was none other than the Cornell trainer rapping ahead to the point where Shane Sparks said, literally, like, pretty much quote unquote, whatever you're doing, do it 3 times because it's not working. I said, thank you, Shane Sparks. This Cornell trainer, dude. Oh my goodness.
I know that is. I don't know. That's, to me, some of the funnest matches that are coming involves them 3 guys, because quite frankly, I think any of the 3 could end up winning this. And I don't know. I mean, of course, I'd take Duke because I'm Penn State, and he picked Penn State. But
yeah, we know that, dude. All right, moving on.
I can't wait to see Robidow against Shapiro. That I'm just dying to see that. And we could have seen it this weekend, but of course.
Some of your other bigger takeaways. We got Kevin waiting on the line. We're already almost 20 minutes in.
Wow.
It's red zone's going on right now, dude. My season's on the line in fantasy, dude. But and we got 7 o'clock Eastern time tonight, dude. The finals, which I don't even know if we'll have time to touch on these matchups.
How about, let me ask one question. The couple of names that stuck out to you as, we may have a problem here.
As an Iowa fan, self-proclaimed, how about Endine, dude? I cannot say enough about Endine coming through and showing his value, dude. And quite frankly, winning the match for Iowa and putting them in the finals. Did he not? Because we don't know what's going on with Ben Keeter. Is he hurt, dude? I don't know. He doesn't even wrestle. And knocks out Endine, single-handedly knocks out Oklahoma State.
Is an example of, you can literally see the confidence growing. And obviously he's a good wrestler and all, but just what he looks like now than he did even at the beginning of the year, it's like you could just see it. And he may turn out to be a big player. We'll see. But, of course, Antrell Taylor, they didn't wrestle in the last match. He very possibly.
What is going on? Antrell Taylor alert. Red alert, dude, for Antrell Taylor and Nebraska fans. I guess maybe, dude, stock slightly down for Nebraska after this, right? I mean, this is a tough tournament, man, and people got beat up.
I was personally never really sold that Nebraska's the second-place team. Of course, I never officially said that to anyone, so it sounds real smart right now. Like, I never expected Nebraska to be number 2 anyway. But Ohio State way overachieved from my expectations. However, you've seen Zach Ryder and Facundo and Antrell Taylor, even Swiderski. David Taylor's, he's got some people to work with, or to work on, And
Well, there's some up and down wrestlers, I would say.
yes, they're just
It's up and down, and right now that's what you would expect out of a new coach at a new program. But I think if you're Oklahoma State fan, if you're a David Taylor fan, there's nothing but optimism because, okay, yeah, he's taken a couple transfers, and I would expect them to improve more so at the end of the season, the Facundos and the Zach Ryders. But then, dude, his young bulls are looking like absolute bulls, are they not, dude? Between Rebido and I'm forgetting his name now, dude. But
Vega.
well, Vega,
Lockett.
dude. Lockett upsetting Caliendo. I mean, Caliendo was the clear-cut number 2, right? And now all of a sudden, does Mitchell Messenbrink have a problem?
No, come on.
But seriously,
Whoa.
Lockett's just getting started, dude. You know how much better he's going to be by the end of this season under David Taylor's coaching? I'm telling you right now, look out, Mitchell. Don't take a break.
Oh,
don't get
now
content.
you're starting to get over the dreamy over there. Are
I'm
you
sorry,
kidding
I'm getting
me?
realistic, dude. That's just what I'm seeing on the paper, dude. Lockett
Wow.
comes out in the first tournament of the year and upsets Michael Caliendo. Are you kidding me, dude? That was a problem if I'm an Iowa fan. Something we need to work on here going up because we got Oklahoma State to deal with again here in the future.
We mentioned about Angelo helping AJ. We're picking on AJ a little bit because he did take a loss. He almost took a second loss. He ain't looking like the clear-cut favorite as far as 285. We're not sure yet because
I think
of course,
280.
but
I think
I don't even
heavyweight's
think
up in the air.
Bastida wrestled this weekend. I don't know what's going on there too. He's Mr. Hurt all the time. But I will say this. Angelo might be able to work with AJ to how to close the deal in these close matches. But we were watching that Oklahoma State-Iowa match, and I noticed your mom was rooting against AJ. And at that moment, it hit me.
Mom?
AJ might be a genius because he is getting you to watch him and root against him. Now, he ain't bringing all the goods like a Robidoux or something. He's struggling to get these wins, but he's getting where that's a guy. Look at us. We're talking about him. And for all the studs that we seen this weekend that I can't say enough about, I got to give it to him.
Well, I would say this, man. Go ahead.
Well, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, man, I've never felt more justified, dude, as a fan and what I see on the paper because Angelo went out and I needed Angelo to be a dog for my reputation, dude. And Angelo was an absolute dog. He might be the best Ferrari wrestler, dude. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
But
it'll be interesting to watch how McAnally responds. And, of course, we get to see McAnally and Angelo go at it during the regular season. This just was such an awesome event that really I'm kind of wore out.
Yeah, you're wore out, dude.
I am. That was as good as it gets as far as watching a duel.
Second best. I said outside of your the national championships. Second greatest day of wrestling all year.
Yeah.
And now we got it at the first. I mean,
Yeah.
I got to say this, dude. Thank you, David Taylor. Thank you, Paycom, Richardson, dude, for making this happen, dude.
Yeah.
Because
big time.
It simply gave us the
Flo, all of you, because you just helped our sport in a big way, and we needed it. We really did. That's exactly what the sport needs. Now, somehow it'd be great to, you have to have a Flo subscription to be able to see. It'd be great to get even the semifinals on like a free service just to get people to see what they're missing, or an ESPN or something. But I was just blown away with how that all unfolded.
Don't you wish Penn State was in that?
Richardson went out and bought 4 brand new mats. I mean, this guy went all in.
Yeah, and it showed it, dude.
Yeah.
It showed it.
Yeah.
It really showed it.
There's part of me that can understand why Kale didn't go to this. And I was making this argument to your mom.
I made the argument for Kale. And people say I'm a Penn State hater. I made the argument why I wouldn't have went to this for Kale.
Yes.
Now, next year is going to be a different story. Next year's going to be a different story, Penn State fans. As well as this is gone, there's going to be pressure on Penn State to go next year.
Kevin,
more so than this year.
Kevin
in the house.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They're not going to be able to move that event anywhere. It's going to have to stay at the beginning of the year. There's no way you're going to be able to work with everyone's schedule to try to get that event closer to the end of the year or something.
It'll be tough. I mean, you could maybe move it to the holidays or around there, but that interrupts the tournaments that they usually have there. And if you put it in January, that interrupts conference scheduling. So it'll be difficult. After watching it today, I don't see anything wrong with having it where it is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it at the beginning.
Yeah, I like it.
Got to keep it there. Got to keep it there. Yeah. Kevin, welcome to the show, man. What are your initial thoughts, dude, your overall takeaways here from this?
A few things real quick. One, Facundo, oh my gosh. Could he have had a more difficult path of what he had, having to wrestle Minto, Patrick Kennedy, Singleton, and Ruiz in 2 days? So he definitely got his work in. Another thought is Oklahoma State. Right now, I see them having 3 true freshmen that are favored to be in the NCAA final. Vega just majored Hardy 13-2. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Vega majored Brock Hardy 13-2.
13-2. And then you got obviously got Lockett, and then Rabidou. You know, Rabidou. You know, I mean, he Antrell Taylor wanted nothing to do with that. You know, they didn't even send him out there against him. So, yeah, I mean, and you know what? A 4th true freshman who I think is going to have the spot now is Ronnie Ramirez at 133. Tell me, why would you put Figs out there again when you see Ramirez just barely lose to Ayala in overtime?
Yeah.
You know, with the way Figs has been wrestling, I would stick with the true freshman in that one. So, I mean, a huge story to me is Oklahoma State's 4 true freshmen and the grind they went through and the success they had this weekend.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, Kevin, if they actually just used the 5 dates for him and stick with Figs.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, Figs is just missing that conditioning, really, right?
Yeah, he's exciting to watch.
I wanted to mention that, dude. If there was ever, you know how you can bet like a team to win the first half in NFL? Boy, if there was ever a wrestler you could bet to win the first period, I would bet Figs to win every first period and possibly lose the match. Get a gas tank, Figs, dude, right? That's what I see.
I know. Well, Kevin, what's some other things that stuck out to you?
125, the landscape. I mean, you had Robinson lose to Ventresca, and then Volk beat Ventresca. So that kind of mixes things up there. And at 141, the landscape there is, I mean, to me, it's how do you not look at it and go, Vega and Mendez? And then everyone else. Von Bar lost. Jack lost to Vega. I don't know. I just see it as it's those two. And if Oklahoma State would have beaten Iowa, we would have gotten to see it in the finals.
Well, it could be a matchup thing because Hardy gives Mendez problems. But, yeah, Vega out of nowhere, Vega has to especially hurt you.
Here's the thing, guys, is when you watch Vega, and this is something, you know, I've going for a while. I've watched him when we recruited him, and that's why I was so excited about him, is he doesn't give up points. If the more, and I hate to sound cliche, but the more wrestling that happens, the better it is for Vega. Vega's first 3 opponents went out there, and they didn't do much of anything, and he shut them all out, but he only won by 2, 5, and then 3 in sudden victory. Hardy goes out there, and Hardy tries to create action, and you saw where that got him, 13-2. The more action that was created, the more Vega just put his foot down and destroyed him. He's very lengthy and he's going to be a problem. I don't know, maybe the strength of Echmandia maybe would be a good matchup against Vega. I don't know. I'm curious to see, though.
All right, I have a question for you, Kev.
Yeah.
The rest of this regular season, is there a particular matchup that now sticks out to you? I can't wait to see this. Is there one that we've gotten a little taste, so for a big taste of how everyone's looking right now, but is there a future matchup this coming regular season that you just can't wait for?
I wish I knew. I mean, I don't think Ohio State faces Oklahoma State, or I would say Vega Mendez, because that one pops right out. But I'll tell you what, not to be a homer, but Simon Ruiz really impressed me. He's a big guy at 174. He looked really good, and I'm excited for him for the rest of this season. As far as matchups, though, man, I don't know. I'd have to look at like a schedule. I have a schedule in front of me, see who's facing who.
How does a Robidoux Shapiro match look?
It looks really good.
I know.
It looks really good. And,
wow.
it makes you really appreciate PJ Duke wrestled Robidoux in the finals of the World Team Trials, the U20, 2 out of 3.
What
and he
was
beat
that
him
score?
it was like, I don't know, 8-4 and 7-3 or something like that. And we were kind of like, everyone's kind of like, wow, man, I wonder if Duke's, it wasn't that impressive. Well, now you look back on that and you're like, man, that was really impressive.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Robidoux is really good. And you know what I heard? I was listening to you guys prior, and you said a young David Taylor, and I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
When I'm watching Robidoux, I mean, he looks confident. And now you go out there as a true freshman, and you go in a dual meet, right, where money's on the line, $75,000 on the line, and they don't send out the defending national champion of weight to wrestle you in Antrell Taylor. What does that do for your confidence? He didn't even want to wrestle me.
Well, Antrell Taylor might have some others. I mean, he's clearly not at his peak game right now. And you send him out there and get ragdolled by Robidoux, that could be devastating.
Well, they're
They're saving him.
The other guy that seems to have put distance on everyone is Bird. I mean,
Lucas Bird. I gotta
Yeah.
say, Lucas Bird. He ain't no.
He's
nerd,
got
dude.
Ayala's
he's
number.
sticking people in.
I somehow don't see Ayala ever beating Bird again.
No,
I don't.
No, I don't see it, man. I think he's not going to let that throw by happen on him again.
No.
And he's got 7-2. He's got his number. I think that's in Ayala's head right now. I don't see him winning that match. And speaking of that throw by, I was impressed that Ramirez had none of that happening either with him when he wrestled Ayala. As a matter of fact, he almost threw by Ayala one time.
Well, we talk about anticipated future matchups. We got one at 7 o'clock. It's because I want to see just exactly how good this Davino is. And, Ayala, say what you will, he's one of the big dogs. If Davino could beat Ayala, I'm going to be like, whoa.
Ohio State, I would be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, whoa,
yeah, I
Ohio
think,
State's a podium
How do you
team.
think that match will go, Kev?
I think Ayala, I watched Davino wrestle Cortez, one of Cornell's gray shirts, at the Clarion Open in the semis. The match went into overtime, and Davino won about a minute into sudden victory. That, to me, tells me that Ayala is a step above him right now. I think I'd take Ayala. I think it's going to be a 7-4, 7-5 match, maybe, Ayala. But as far as the dual meet goes, that looks like a 5-5 duel, maybe. And I think Ohio State would have shut Nebraska out had they put Giage in at 197. They put Shoemate in there, who's nowhere near the talent as Giage this year, and that's the only match they lost. So it could have been a 33-0.
I know.
Match, which is crazy.
Ohio State over Nebraska, dude. Insane.
I know.
Insane, dude. What'd you think of the Feldman AJ Ferrari match, Kevin?
I was surprised. I was really surprised. You noticed that they didn't put Keeter out there because they already had the match locked up against Oklahoma State. Give him a little extra rest.
Yeah, but is that an injury thing? Because he was on the injury report, dude. What can we expect to see Keeter here tonight?
I think so. Absolutely.
I don't know.
And I think
that match was still in play, and what's his face from Flo said Keeter doesn't even have his wrestling shoes on. At that point, it came down to that 197, and Dean had to win that for Iowa to win.
That's why I was that's one of the reasons I was so impressed with Endine is I think Endine knew that he had to win that match for Iowa to win that, dude.
Yeah.
And for Endine to come through, man, Endine might be my most impressive wrestler in these past 2 days.
We wrote him off. And he went through in a tournament like this, and
Kevin,
The thing is, yeah.
do you agree it was almost like overload? We seen so many shocking things just happen.
Yeah, it
from
was like the
knocking off
Yeah.
Caliendo to, I mean, you could just keep going. And
I have to go back and watch them all.
And we still will, because folks, we're going to be back tomorrow live at 11 a.m.
That's right.
We're filling right in for Flo. Flo's out tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
We're gonna Eastern time. We're gonna supplement them in because they're going live tonight after these finals.
We'll have the finals to talk about. However, we can even discuss, given your take on how you think the finals are going to go. I'm going to call Terry here in a second, and after he gives his Iowa comments, maybe all four of us can participate in what we think this finals, how it's going to unfold.
Well, give Terry a call. Let's get him on the
All right.
line. Kevin, some of your other final thoughts while we get Hawkeye Terry in here for an Iowa
gonna
Hawkeye
say,
wrestling update.
Keeter, I was going to really want Keeter in that match because he's 3-0 against Feldman. So they're going to really want him in there. But looking at that, there's a lot of coin flips. I mean, does Ohio State put out McCrone or they put out Nick Bouzakis against Peterson? That's a question. I think that in this match, I would put Bouzakis in against Peterson.
Hey, Terry.
That's just me, But I was really happy with the way Cornell grinded the first round against Oklahoma State too. Really happy about that. The way they wrestled. They wrestled hard. They were in that duel, and they had no business being on that duel on paper. And the guys went out there and they. Yeah, I mean it was 15-12 with 2 weights left, and that's with someone in there at 157 that clearly is not the talent of Shapiro and a couple other guys. They're 184-pounder out. I mean, it was a good duel. So,
Okay, Terry, the very first off, you got to be pumped up right now, huh?
Well, we got a couple questions answered, and I got to eat a healthy dose of crow because I thought we had a hole at 149 and 197, and I tell you what, Ryder Block impressed me this weekend. Really long. His gas tank's not an issue. Of course, that was probably related to a brutal cut last year. He's healthy. He looks good. And Dean, I'm lights out on. And I was not high on him. I was not that optimistic. I thought that was a massive hole. I was saying I wish we would have gotten Elam. And I got to tell you, Bates is a tough guy. He decked him. He took that the Illinois kid to the woodshed, scored in a variety of ways, and then we had a private message going, and you said, well, we'll see what happens with Merrill, and he stepped it up with Merrill and showed a phenomenal wrestling IQ. The 3 circle ins at the end there, not to get stall calls. He just really impressed me.
Yeah.
Very, very strong.
Terry, any updates on Keeter? Apparently he didn't weigh in. Any news on Keeter?
I just sent that out. Eli McCown asked Tom about it, and Tom said we didn't even weigh Keeter in. He said we had a guy ready to go, meaning Gage Marty, but we didn't think it made sense to send him back out there if it was already decided, because Gage Marty tweaked a knee yesterday. So now I don't know if they do 2 weigh-ins today, because if Keeter didn't weigh in and they only do 1 weigh-in, per day, he's not going to be wrestling tonight either.
Then welcome to a championship Ohio State Buckeyes, right?
Well, and you know what? Feldman's looked really good against guys that have taken Keeter to the woodshed, but I'm telling you what, Keeter has handled him. So that's a hurdle that Feldman hasn't been able to get over yet.
Do you know what's hurting with Keeter?
I don't, and Tom just flat out said, I'm not. We're keeping that in house. He had the hip labrum surgery off season, so I don't know if it's related to that or not. But interesting that they even brought him on the trip if they knew he was banged up. So.
Well, if you don't mind me, and I'll hand this right back to you here in a second, Terry. But you talk about the best of both worlds, Zach. Yeah, we were professional athletes. We won our money. Well, professional athletes have to put down on the injury report what's going on. And somehow these kids are allowed the best of both worlds. We'll pay them money, give them the money, but we get to keep it quiet as far as what's going on.
They're not professional. This is college. Calm down.
They're getting paid. That's professional.
And if you want to talk about people being quiet about stuff, don't even let me bring up Penn State.
Oh, okay, Terry.
We don't ever hear nothing.
Terry, you're absolutely right about Block and Dean.
And you know, if you look at the duel, you know, Dean Peterson and Block getting the upsets was huge because, you know, Caliendo got upset, and you know, so that really was critical. And as it turns out, Bailey lost to Vega. Vega just beat Hardy, from what I understand, in the
dominated.
Yeah.
So you know, look, I never thought Oklahoma State's year was this year necessarily. Not that they weren't going to be quite good, you know, but they're really coming with some hammers when you got the Rainey twins and Jacks. I mean, and you already see it with Vega and Lockett. Man, they're going to be, and Robideau. They're just going to be absolutely loaded with hammers, and you see what kind of difference that makes. You know, we got one in Angelo. You know, when you got one of the elite guys, it matters.
Yeah.
You know?
No doubt.
But Peterson with a big upset there at the end, and he, you know, if you look at his track record, he's got about 20 quality wins. He just has never been able to put it together at the Nationals. He didn't last year, but previously he's always lost the first round, and that puts you behind the 8 ball. But he has the ability to kind of lull you to sleep, and he's extremely explosive. He can scramble. That was impressive because Spratley's going to be right there for the finals next year, I think.
Yeah, well, you talk about confidence. Can you imagine what that does to Peterson to be able to beat Spratley? I mean, but
Russell Madness said, why do you hold that like a lightsaber, that phone?
That's why I was laughing. That's why I was
really?
laughing out loud.
That phone you're holding. Terry, we got to work on your setup out there, Terry.
I'm holding it up to
dude.
the mic.
Apparently like a lightsaber.
That's
with
why
the
I was
comments.
laughing.
Well,
Terry, who wins tonight, baby?
You know, I haven't even looked at the head-to-head matchup, so I hate to weigh in. I need to see, you know.
Do you got the head-to-head matchups?
I mean, it's up
All
on the
four of us
screen. You
can
can
give
put
our
it together,
picks.
dude. Angelo Fishback, what's the score? Terry?
I mean, if the duel's online, Angelo's going to have to push for bonus. But, you know, Angelo typically doesn't score a ton of points against, you know, the better guys. So I'll go decision, Angelo.
Are you worried about Caliendo at all, Terry?
Well, you know, Caliendo looked sluggish yesterday, and he's looked that way before, and he usually finds a way to, you know, using his craftiness to get wins. I didn't think he looked flat today. You know, that was bringing that match up. Not all low-scoring matches are poor matches, because that was a really well-wrestled match, had a lot of excitement, a lot of scrambles. You know, and that was really, really close to not being a takedown there at the end. The official kind of got in the way of the view right when it was called. You know, that was really close. But no, I'm not worried about him. Look, Lockett's a hammer, you know. So, you know, so I'm not worried about Caliendo.
All right, my final question to you, Terry. If we see Dean tonight up against Geog, given everything we've seen up to this point out of Dean, who you taking in that match?
Well, Kevin's been saying Geog's been looking lights out.
I think he's hurt.
It's tough to make predictions. You know, this is kind of why I'm eating crow on Dean and Ryder Block, because we're all operating on really small sample sizes, and we all tend to overreact to a match or two. when you saw Valencia get beat by David Evans, a Wayne favorite, and he turns right around and just looks lights out against Swiderski. Swiderski beats Lachlan McNeil and then dumps 4 matches in a row. So it's really tough to predict until the season sorts out a little bit.
True.
But I'm not betting against Indine at this point. This kid is really, really strong, and he's been impressive.
No, I want to say this. If you heard the Tom Brands interview before the semifinals, I believe, he said, look, listen, we're not all there yet. We're not all ready, but really there's no excuse for that. I don't know if he was talking about Keeter or not, but then the other coach I wanted to mention, first of all, stop. I love David Taylor. Stop interviewing him. He's so boring. I know I can tell you exactly what David Taylor's going to say every single interview. I want to hear Tom Brands, and you know the other coach I want to hear from? The NC State head coach. Who am I talking? What's his name? I forget his name.
Papalizio.
Yeah, he don't even brush his hair, and he comes on, and that man is just he tells it how it is. He kind of reminded me of Tom Brands. I love the NC State head coach.
I always like Doug Schwab too.
Doug Schwab as well. Yeah,
Schwab's my favorite.
Yeah,
love Schwab.
Doug Schwab wouldn't be a bad. If Tom ever retires, that's not a bad stopgap for a few years. Because if you want an Iowa guy, and we wouldn't lose any excitement on the sidelines because he's a lot like Tom and Terry jumping around over on the sidelines.
Well,
he's a really good coach too.
And Terry, if you don't mind me saying, Iowa lost their challenge early. Okay.
Yep.
And
first match.
I even said to my wife, I said, that doesn't even matter. I said, because they'll be over there by the scorer's table, first thing that they don't agree with, and quite frankly, they have influence.
It's called getting bullied
They
around.
have influence on everyone. In fact, the one match, they took away the takedown, and then all of a sudden they realized, let's give it back. What match am I thinking about, Kevin?
Well, that was Caliendo against Lockett.
Yeah, Caliendo Lockett.
What they did, they overturned it on Matt, and then David Taylor threw a brick, and so they had to go to the outside source to review it. That's what happened on that. But I'll tell you what, Tom, I don't even think Tom's the worst for working the referees. Watch Michigan. Man, they work the officials.
Bourmet.
Kevin Jackson and Bourmet, holy moly, do they work the officials.
It's a shame. It's a shame we're not going to see Tom Brands and Tom Ryan both on the sidelines tonight because I believe, dude, and we pretty much saw this when we went to the Penn State-Ohio State match, and I confirmed it watching today. I was looking, where's Tom Ryan? I'm pretty sure Tom Ryan, Ohio State head coach, stands way back and walks and kind of paces.
He always does.
Walks.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he
he's not
always
up there.
does.
He's not Matt's side. That's
Even
kind of weird.
at NCAA, he's way back.
It's kind of weird, right? I mean, I'd love to see Tom Ryan, Tom Brands headbutting on the sidelines during our call tonight, dude. National Duels Invitational. Paycom would love it.
Well,
yeah, they're buddies there. But you mentioned the challenge that Tom lost. I thought that was a really good challenge because, man, I tell you that it was on the Peterson match against Spratley when Peterson got the reversal. That looked very, very close to 2 swipes. It depends on when you started swiping. If you swiped it quick, it was 2, and if you didn't, it was 1.5. So that was a good challenge. Just unfortunately, it was the first match of the night.
Okay. All right. Any other takeaways, Terry? Overall takeaways, because, folks, we'll be back tomorrow. So in less than 24 hours.
Well,
we'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m.
I got to say something. First off is, I hate Iowa. Terry, you know that, right? I got to give Iowa.
You really don't.
I got to give them credit that whole system they run over. I think it's like 2 mental patient brothers running an insane asylum over there. I got to give them credit. Somehow it's effective. It is.
Well, they all love it there. I don't know if you saw Ludington's interview. He was talking about how much he loved it at Iowa, and they all say that. You could tell it's genuine. It's not like they're poking needles under their fingernails or anything over there. So
You know, you talked about Oklahoma State and Jackson, the Rainies coming in and all that stuff. There's going to be some studs that aren't fitting in weight classes that are going to end up other places. Am I wrong?
Well, they're probably going to get Vega in the lineup for these next 2 years, and then he'll have a red shirt in the pocket. But Jackson's not going to be red shirt, and he'll be going right out of the block.
They have an Olympic too.
You got to fit the Rainies in somehow. They already lost Wolbert, and Wolbert was a legitimate recruit. That kid was very, very good. But yeah, you know, they got Ronnie Ramirez, and nobody even talks about J.J. McComas. He's another one. That kid's a really legitimate recruit.
Wow. Hey, look, can we do this, Zach? Let's run through tonight's finals and get a comment from each of us at each weight class. Who we think's gonna?
All right, we'll close it out with that, folks.
Really? Oh, Zach cuts us off.
Well,
all
we're
the
coming
time,
up on
Terry.
an hour, dude. It's
Kev-
it's Red Zone Sunday here.
Oh, that's
And plus, dude, you're coming up in an hour from the final starting, dude. What are you gonna sit here and talk all night, dude?
Good point.
All right, we got expected McCrone and Peterson, 125.
Go ahead, Zach.
Me? Well, Jekyll and Hyde Peterson, after coming off a big win, might lose this one. I don't know. McCrone's really tough on top, but I'll go with Peterson.
Kev?
I'll go Peterson.
I'm going Peterson, obviously. You might as well go McCrone. Makes sense.
I'm going Bazakis.
Or Bazakis there. Be
Yeah,
contrary.
I think they're going to
Yeah.
wrestle Bazakis, and I think that he wins that.
Ben DeVino and Drake Ayala, 133. Hot dog.
Terry. Whoa. What are you going to say, Terry? By the way, are you happy with Ayala, how he's wrestling, how he's looking?
Yeah, look, Bird is really a difficult matchup for him because he's got that waistband that's almost parallel to the floor, and he keeps his legs way back. So, I mean, he takes away the legs from Drake, and then all he does is sit on that slide by. And Drake ran himself into a takedown on one of those. It's just a really rough matchup for him at this point. You know, Drake got him on that slide by the first match, and it was never going to happen again after that. Bird's made real sure of that. No, I'm not. Drake's like Spratley. You know, come March, he's going to be right in the thick of things. I'm not worried about him at all.
Does he beat DeVino?
Until you felt that slide by, you get nailed on a couple of those, so I'm going Drake. And I really like DeVino.
Kev?
Yeah, I got Drake all day on that one.
I'm going Drake.
And I'm going Drake. Next.
Okay, we got Bailey and Mendez. I mean, we're all going to go Mendez there, right? Even Terry.
Yeah.
Mendez.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mendez.
Next.
Who you got there, 149, up against Ethan Styles? I can't even read it. My eyes.
His block. He's going to go rider block, right?
Yeah, he'll go rider block. I got to go Styles.
Yeah, I'm going Styles. Kevin?
I'll go block.
Wow.
Block.
Wow. And
Just
you know what?
the
I'm
way
on the
Styles
verge of
looked
saying
lately, I don't
block
know.
too because his confidence is up. He just had some big wins. And I don't know. I'll go Styles, but wow, that one's going to be a close one. All
right, Jordan Williams, Brandon Cannon.
Cannon all day. Cannon just beat Intrell. Majored
Cannon
him.
here too.
Wow. I guess I'll go Cannon. Consensus. Caliendo, dude, and Patty Gallagher. I'm going Caliendo back in a big, big way tonight, dude.
Yep, I agree. I think Caliendo bonus.
I'll go Caliendo, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout or anything.
Conservative Kevin over
Caliendo
there.
here.
Conservative Kevin. Okay. Patrick Kennedy, dude, our Dog of the Year winner in 2024 BEG Wrestling.
Yeah.
He's going to be going up against Karchula. Oof, that's tough.
That was a dogfight last year. I think Karchula got him a couple times, if I recall right. So based on that, I probably have to go Karchula.
Kev?
I'm going to go Karchla as well.
I'm going Kennedy, dude. Dog of the year.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
going
kidding me,
Harsh.
dude?
I'm going Harchla.
And didn't he just follow up Caliendo's loss with a gritty win? Pretty sure.
Yeah. And
Followed it up.
That's one
Karchla beat Minto 5-1.
Yeah. Brands have their fight instilled into that kid. So I wouldn't be shocked if Kennedy flips the script.
Yeah, I think Kennedy I think he lost to him I think one of the matches was closer. I think he closed it closer on the second one, I think.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly.
Karchla, says Juan Morgan. Sorry, folks. I appreciate all the comments. It's hard to keep up with them this episode. Karchla
It was
says
just so you know, it was 4-2 and 7-3 last year. Karchla won both of them. 4-2 was the more recent one.
Okay,
7-3 was earlier.
Okay. Does Angelo Ferrari pop the champagne tonight, going 4-0 and an Iowa championship over Fishback? Fishback, sneaky. I'm going Angelo.
Angelo ranked
Fishback,
number 1 now. He's going to do it.
Yeah.
Kevin?
I agree.
Fishback lost to McAnally in overtime this weekend, but I'm going Angelo. Angelo's our guy.
Okay, the boy, the newcomer, and Dean out of nowhere up against, is it Georg? But I don't know.
Giage.
I think Giage is hurt.
Giage is hurt. It's not going to be Giage. Who's it going to be?
Kev? Why?
I mean, if he is hurt, it would be Shoemate, but
Shoemate.
Is he
wow.
hurt? I'm going to go Endine either way. I mean,
is it Endine pulling off a miracle for
way.
Iowa, dude, in the semifinals and the finals? I'm going to actually predict that. I'm going to predict that Endine wins, and it's going to win Iowa the dual meet and the championship.
Terry, we're going to say Shoemate. So we got Endine against Shoemate. What do you think?
Got to go Endine the way he's wrestling.
Yeah. You know what, folks? I thought for certain we were going to see Endine go 0-4.
Wrong.
And wow, was I wrong? I've been wrong a lot.
I think I just said last episode that Evan Bates hit the portal after Endine was signed up to Iowa, and I said, man, I would have liked to have Evan Bates.
You know,
and man, shows you I don't know much about wrestling.
You know, the one thing wrestling will do it to you too, but this podcast does it to me. I'll say stuff, and I'll be so wrong that I was literally sitting in my living room today thinking, why am I doing a podcast? I know nothing.
All I know is I've been very accurate behind, and I'd make very few very strong predictions, but the one I have been has been Angelo. And hot dog was I happy. I needed Angelo to win this weekend, baby. And he did it. Let's go.
I'll go with the Endine. I'm on the Endine train. But I don't know that heavyweight. That's a shame that daggone Keeter he say he's not even weighed in, so he ain't going tonight. Because Kevin, am I wrong?
Big swing there too, because like I said, Keeter's done really well against Feldman.
Kevin, they wouldn't have a second weigh-in, right? It would just be this morning.
Yeah, it would just be this morning, yeah.
So,
he's out then.
So he's out.
Yikes, dude.
Yeah, he's out.
That means Ohio
my
State, which, by the way, folks, if you didn't join the Wrestle Madness, I actually picked Ohio State to win this.
By the way, Terry, I seen Keeter walking. I didn't notice any limp.
Yeah, he was over there sitting down. Like I said, I think it's really odd that they even brought him. I guess either he got hurt, warming up, or they thought maybe they'd use him in an emergency. But if they didn't even weigh him in,
I read between the lines in the Tom Brands interview, Terry, and it told me it's something off the field going on with Keeter right now.
Yeah,
that's just what it told me. I mean, Tom Brand said something I can't remember, but it was a little fishy. It was like, maybe we're not focused, but we should be.
Whoa!
And I thought,
really?
I don't know. Yes, I'm dead serious. And the first thing I thought of was Ben Keeter, dude. And I thought he's probably got some off the mat
Terry,
stuff
you're
going
kind
on.
of the Iowa inside guy. Have you heard any rumblings?
Maybe I'm wrong.
Zero on that.
Wow.
I did hear yesterday that he was banged up yesterday.
Banged up. See? Okay.
That's
well,
all I heard.
I don't know any insight behind the scenes on Iowa, but I am a body language specialist reader.
Yeah,
Man.
That's true. That's true. Terry, I gotta say this. Keeter, he's obviously a very good athlete and all that stuff, but You know, certain guys just have a dog in them. They'll have a broken arm and they want to go like Brands. Brands could have had a broken arm and he's going out to wrestle. I'm sorry. At some point, don't you have to have that dog in you? Or no, Brands probably sat him and said, no, we're not ruining the whole season. I don't know.
I think that's why they didn't weigh him in, to just remove that easy.
Remove the option. Don't go hurt yourself worse, Keeter. Because you know Keeter probably does have that dog in him. He probably would have went out there and wrestled.
Well, ask Kevin. The Cornell trainer is. We got dog over there in Cornell.
Well, if Iowa had the Cornell trainer, he
we'll
would have
send
been
him
out there, baby. He would have been wrestling.
That guy
We got
is
concussions and
something
everything.
else,
We'll
isn't
send
he?
him out. We're ready
That
to go.
guy,
You ready?
man.
Just wrap his head a couple more times up.
I just throw. I throw. When I see him, I just throw things, man.
With what they'll put him through.
What the heck is with that guy, man? And by the way, since you guys aren't going to give me any credit for it, I'll just tap myself on the back, Zach. Where are you on the Rosinski over Taylor and Denny over Downey? And you're not even giving me any props?
Kevin, and you're up there in Wrestle Madness, aren't you, Kevin? Kevin made some bold predictions, Antrell Taylor being one of them. It's why you listen to the show, dude, because you're going to hear
And against Lehigh.
Yep. Okay. All
I
right,
was
let's
proud of
close this
myself.
out, folks.
Hey,
We're
Cal.
going-
That Logan dude, the Logan dude I got to give it to you. That was a good call because I didn't see that coming in a million years.
He wrestled him tough, major.
Yeah.
I think Antrell Taylor's just got, he's so defensive. He's got to get some more offense going, and he'll be okay, but.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Terry, final thoughts for Terry. Let's go around the horn because here shortly we do have the finals, and we are also back tomorrow morning live to extend our thoughts.
All right, fantastic. Great to check in with you guys.
You have any final thoughts, Terry?
Not really. Not really. I just got to reload here and get ready for this duel here.
Yeah. It's
All right, Terry.
It's going to be exciting.
Terry's going to start his pregame right now, dude. Kevin, your final thoughts on the weekend up to this point?
Awesome weekend. I mean, it was great, wasn't it? And I'm looking forward to watching a bunch of replays. So looking forward to a good final and watching replays and talking to you guys about it.
Yeah, no, always appreciated, Kevin. And, that reminded me, that's why it reminded me of the NCAA championships. I'm literally going to have to go watch replays of some of these matches because I didn't have a chance. And even when
I
it
haven't
was
watched
a quad
any
box,
football
dude,
today. None.
how hard is it to watch a match intently when it's a quad box going on? Like, you almost
My
have to
eyes
even
are
go
crossed.
back in the watch. The matches even already watched, you need to watch again because you're quad boxing it, So your final thoughts, dude.
Well, my final thoughts are, first off, I really enjoyed Madness during the first round. Although I now learned from you there was a whole nother
team one
that I forgot.
The Kozak hit list,
I didn't search around and join in.
Wow.
But, one guy cost me dearly. I seen some low IQ wrestling things, and that particular match that cost me, it was just a low IQ. He had the lead, less than a minute, and he's going for a body throw and ends up.
So who are you talking about?
I can't. I wrote it down, and I thought, no, that's going to sound like giving
Don't
excuses.
throw him under the.
I went from 7th place to like 20th, right like that. And
what team was he on?
All right, if you want, I'll tell you exactly what it was.
Just want to know.
We got to know now.
Terry, you
No, you
still
got to
as he wasn't
tune
on
in tomorrow,
Cornell's team.
folks, to find out. You got to
All
tune
right.
in tomorrow morning to find out, dude. We'll be live at 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
So
And Terry, we'll
cliffhanger.
be back to check with you because I know.
feel free to call in tomorrow morning, Terry. I don't know what you're doing out there, what the schedule is with the deer and the hunting and all.
I don't know.
Do you hear me? He hung up,
I'm
dude.
not a hunter, but it's I am on Pacific time, so if you're going early, I gotta know.
No, I meant hunting recruits. Aren't you out there getting Iowa recruits, Terry? Hey!
Oh yeah. We took care. God, we
Terry-
passed our limit last Sunday.
You know, Zach always was a Ohio State Buckeye. I'm going to root for Iowa just for Terry's sake tonight.
You gotta do it.
Me too. Iowa.
I'm rooting for Iowa too, dude. We can't all be rooting for Iowa now,
Okay,
dude.
If you believe what I just said, you're out of your skull. No, Terry, I was going down to the team that took over and took charge of this whole daggone thing, besides Penn State, the actual king, not being there. And by the way, the king, I'm with you, Zach. You got to come to the king. We ain't going over to your house. But
Well, maybe Tom Ryan talk a little smack and backs it up tonight, and all of a sudden next year, Kayla and Tom Ryan teeing off, dude, because the Ohio State Buckeyes young squad is looking nothing but getting better, right?
Terry,
By the way, I heard AJ went down to Feldman, huh?
AJ went down to Feldman. That's right.
Yeah, Ironside was saying that he was laying on his side watching Angelo wrestle, and he was on deck. Wasn't warming up.
yeah.
Oh man.
Man.
Yeah, and quite frankly, AJ almost went down to Doucette too. That could have went either way. I think he.
Let down.
Am I right?
Let down.
I think
No.
he won by 1.
He did, but it wasn't close.
Yeah, that 285 is open for someone to take over and take charge.
2-1.
Yeah, you and
Ferrari
I
won
both
2-1.
are high on Doucette this year. That he showed a lot of improvement.
Yeah. Well, Terry,
Ryder
good
lost to
talking you.
Allred.
Zach's kicking me out the door. Kevin, love talking with you.
We'll be
We got
back, folks.
We got some fun coming our way.
Tune in tonight, dude. Watch the finals.
We'll see
Ohio
you, dude.
State, Iowa, National
Take care.
Duels Invitational.
Have fun, guys.
We'll be back, folks. Thank you for watching. See ya.